Well, first of all, I think that the war in Iraq that began in 2003 is a continuation of the war that began really on August 2nd, 1990, when Iraq invaded Kuwait. And President Bush Sr. at that time said that the presence of Iraqi forces in Kuwait posed a threat to Saudi Arabia and the flow of oil from the Persian Gulf, and this was a strategic threat to America's vital interests in accordance with the Carter Doctrine of 1980, which says that any time a hostile power threatens the flow of oil from the Persian Gulf, that's a threat to America's vital interests. We'll respond with military force if need be. And when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, that's exactly what he said, and said we're going to respond. Now, at the conclusion of that first Persian Gulf War, President Bush the elder said, well, we're not going to invade Iraq, we're going to bring down Saddam Hussein through economic warfare, the sanctions regime that continued under President Clinton. But he made clear, and President Clinton made clear, that the purpose of those economic sanctions was regime change in Baghdad, to get rid of this potential threat to the security, the stability of the entire region. And the stability of the entire region was crucial because of the importance of the flow of oil from the Gulf to the rest of the world. Not just Iraq's oil, but the entire region. President Bush, the current President Bush, decided in 2002 that economic sanctions were failing in their intended mission to eliminate Saddam Hussein and thereby ensure the security of the oil flow from the Persian Gulf, and that it would be necessary to resume the conflict where it had ended on February 1st, 1991, on the Kuwait border with Iraq. That's the way I interpret it, that the War of 2003 is really a continuation of the War of 1990-91 with the same purpose, to eliminate the threat that Saddam Hussein posed to the safety of the entire region and its oil flow in accordance with the Carter Doctrine. Well, I think it's not okay in the sense that we have become addicted to foreign oil as a diversion from the essential task of freeing ourselves from dependence on petroleum, number one. Number two, I think that we delude ourselves into thinking that military force can ensure the protection of oil. And I think that the lesson of the current war in Iraq is that military force does not ensure the safety of oil. In fact, it has the opposite effect. It makes the threat greater, not lesser, and that we're paying an extraordinarily high cost in human lives and in dollars. I mean, $3 trillion we're speaking now to protect oil. If that was added as a tax to the price of gasoline, we'd be paying 2 or 3 times as much at the pump for the gasoline that we pay. And I just think that this is scandalous as well as being immoral. Well, as I say, I don't believe that the war in Iraq is about Iraq's oil per se. It's about the safety of the flow from the entire region. So President Bush could argue, and he's hinted at this, that by attacking Saddam Hussein, we've made the region safer. And in fact, oil continues to flow from Kuwait and Saudi Arabia all this time. So he could claim that we have seen a benefit from this. But the cost to American taxpayers of this oil has been humongous.